I never planned on falling in love at Red Line Stadium. Monday morning in late August, New York's summer heat still pressed against the city like a fever. And I, Sawyer Mendoza, freshly hired junior PR consultant for Gotham Angel FC, was already running late. My heels clicked across the pavement, phone at my ear, trying to sound competent while dodging television trucks and crates of sports drink bottles. Then the crowd at the players' gate parted, and time twisted. She appeared in a burst of sun glare. Jordan Reyes, the league's most lethal striker, sprinting through warm-up drills as if gravity bent for her alone. Sweat glimmered on her collarbone. Tight curls were corralled into a messy bun that refused to obey. Our gazes collided for half a breath. Hers were storm cloud gray, direct, unblinking. Mine, wide, drowning. She zipped past without losing a step, leaving the scent of salt and wild air in her wake. My lungs forgot how to work. So did my common sense. 3 hours later, in a windowless media room smelling of stale coffee, HR rattled through orientation slides. Club culture, non-disclosure clauses, chain of command. I barely heard a word until her name flared on the screen beside a highlight reel. Jordan Reyes, captain. National sweetheart. Six-figure sponsorship darling. And, just to twist the knife, the intern whispered, "She's been married for 6 years. Designer wife in LA crazy power couple." The word married thudded inside my chest like a bad kick drum. I straightened my blazer, shoved every reckless thought into a mental locker, and swore on my brand new health insurance that I would stay professional. Fate, of course, laughed in my face. Gotham Angel was launching a rebrand, Stronger Together, complete with behind-the-scenes vlogs and human interest features. Guess who topped the content calendar? "Sawyer, you'll shadow Jordan for 6 weeks," my manager said with deadly cheer. "Keep her interviews tight, wrangle the film crew, stop her from missing shoots. She's intense." Intense felt inadequate. Wildfire was closer. The first afternoon I met her officially, we sat across from each other in the players' lounge. Camera lights blazed, interns scurried. My pulse tried to exit my body. Her simple gold wedding ring winked at me each time her hand rested on the table. She caught my stare and tilted her head, amused. "You're new," she said, voice low and unhurried. "Sawyer. PR." I fought to breathe normally. "You've got that look." "What look?" "Like you know this job's about to get messy." "Is it?" "It always does." She smirked, slow, deliberate, dangerous, and turned to the cameras, leaving me in freefall. Days blurred. Morning press huddles, afternoon photo shoots, late-night copy edits. Jordan magnetized every space she entered. Reporters leaned closer. Fans screamed louder. Yet beneath the swagger I sensed tension. An invisible cord pulled tight. She watched the sky before every match as if asking permission. She deflected questions about her private life with a practiced half-smile that never reached her eyes, especially when someone mentioned her wife, Camila Serrano, the West Coast fashion prodigy whose Instagram looked like a Vogue spread. One evening, long after the film crew packed up, we found ourselves alone on the darkened pitch. Stadium lamps painted long silver shadows over fresh-cut turf. We sat 2 feet apart, close enough to feel the electricity, far enough to pretend it wasn't there. "You're good at this," she murmured. "At what?" "Not reacting. To me. Should I be?" "Most people are." "Maybe I'm not most people." She really looked at me then, as if seeing something new break open inside my chest. "No," she whispered. "You're not." I should have run. Instead, I dreamed of her that night. Her mouth, her hands, the hoarse catch in her voice when she said my name, and hated myself for it. Because every stolen breath between us was one step closer to a cliff neither of us was supposed to cross. The cliff arrived on a Tuesday, 9:17 p.m., via text message. "You still at the stadium?" Why?" I replied, thumb trembling. "Don't leave yet." 5 minutes later she slipped into the hallway outside the locker room, still in practice gear, skin glowing with adrenaline. For a heartbeat we just stared, the world shrinking to sweat-damp jerseys and the wild pound of blood in my ears. "I think about you," she said, voice scraping raw. "More than I should. You're married, I breathed. I know. Then why are you here? Because I can't stop. The air ignited, sweet, brutal, irresistible. I stood, forcing distance. This can't happen. Then tell me you don't feel it, she challenged. Silence answered. I want you. Her words shattered me. I walked away before my resolve melted. But boundaries crack under constant heat. The team flew to Chicago for a friendly. Hotel corridors became tightropes. Bar conversations dripped with double meanings. She pulled me into an empty suite, just to talk. We fell asleep fully clothed, forehead to forehead, breathing the same desperate air. Nothing happened, yet everything changed. Back in New York, the tension grew teeth. Brushed fingertips sparked like wires. Glances burned across conference tables. And when the club's annual charity gala bathed Manhattan in camera flash, I wore a backless black dress for myself. Or so I lied. She crossed the ballroom in a midnight blue suit tailored to temptation. Her wife was in Milan. The universe held its breath. I should have said no. Instead I whispered, "Meet me on the terrace in 5. And destiny, wicked thing, clicked its stopwatch. 5 minutes take a lifetime when every second drags the air tighter around your lungs. I slipped through the gala doors and onto the terrace, the city glittering below like spilled jewelry. The music indoors muffles to a heartbeat. I lean on the stone balustrade, pretending I can steady myself on marble. My mind chants rules, professional, married, impossible, but my pulse repeats her name. The door clicks. Jordan steps out, jacket gone, sleeves rolled, collar loose, like she's peeled away everything public between us. Her eyes are molten dusk, fixed on my mouth as if it holds the answer to a question she's never dared voice. For a breath we do nothing but exist in the same electric field. Two storms circling the same strike. I came, she says, rough, almost surprised. You always do what you want, I manage, though the words shake. What I want isn't simple anymore. She moves closer. Heat radiates off her skin, the scent of adrenaline and expensive cologne mixing with rooftop jasmine. When her fingers brush my bare spine, fire races up every nerve. I should step back. Instead I tilt my chin, daring the sky to witness whatever happens next. The first kiss is featherlight, a question more than an answer. Her lips hover, tasting the possibility of us. The second kiss crushes every objection. She cups my jaw, mouth hungry, desperate, as if she spent 6 years starving. My fingers fist the fabric of her shirt. The world tilts, and gravity chooses sides. Somewhere behind us glasses clink, a violin ascends. But out here there is only breath and thunder. Door creaks. A step. We spring apart, chests heaving, hearts sprinting. A waiter steps onto the terrace with a tray of champagne, glances our way, sees nothing but polite distance. He retreats. We almost laugh, but the sound is strangled by everything unsaid. This is insane, I whisper. Maybe, she replies, voice a low scrape. But it's the truest thing I've felt in years. I search her face for doubt and find a storm of fear and want swirling in equal measure. She reaches for my hand. I let her fingers weave through mine for one daring second before I pull away. We can't stay out here. No, she agrees, though her body sways toward mine. But we can't go back to pretending either. Tomorrow, I say, pulse still galloping. Figure it out tomorrow. Her smile is raw, hopeful, lethal. Tomorrow. Morning drags me from a restless sleep of half-remembered kisses and nameless guilt. My phone blinks. Itinerary updates. Team flight to Seattle for the midweek derby. I spend the day buried in emails and camera schedules, pretending my lips don't still taste like hers. When practice ends, Jordan jogs past, damp curls sticking to her forehead, a question in her glance. I nod once, later. The chartered night flight is a study in tension. Players sprawl over first-class pods, trainers swap banter. Coaches snore under navy blankets. I'm buckled 2 rows behind Jordan. Every so often she turns her head and our eyes catch in the aisle's dim glimmer. Static hums between us, louder than the jet engines. In Seattle, the rain greets us sideways. At the hotel check-in, our surnames flicker side by side on the screen, Reyes and Mendoza, like the universe writing forbidden poetry. Media crew lands on a different floor. The team claims the penthouse levels. I'm sandwiched somewhere between. Midnight brings silence, but my nerves refuse sleep. I find myself roaming the hallway in socked feet, heart a percussion line. Around the corner, Jordan leans against a vending machine, hoodie low over her brow. Couldn't sleep either, she murmurs. Rain drums the window at the corridor's end. She steps closer until the machine hum is the only witness. Her hand grazes mine, quick spark. Walk. We slip into a deserted conference room. Stale coffee aroma, chairs stacked, projector light blinking like an anxious heartbeat. Here, in the glow of half-power fluorescence, we collapse into each other. The kiss is wetter, frantic, rainwater taste mingled with want. She pins me gently against a table. My hands slide beneath her hoodie, tracing ridges of muscle I've watched only through camera lenses. She inhales like the contact hurts, in the sweetest way. But when her palm schemes the zipper of my skirt, guilt slams harder than desire. I break the kiss, breathing ragged. Jordan, we're about to cross a line we can't erase. Her forehead rests against mine. Haven't we already? Not all the way, I whisper. She draws a trembling breath and nods, stepping back. The distance aches worse than fire. Tell me what you need. Time, I say, though my body screams the opposite. And honesty. Sad smile. I owe you both. We return to our rooms like ghosts made of lightning, hearts still sparking. Game day unfolds in downpour and drama. Cameras love the rain-slick pitch. Commentators love a redemption arc. Jordan scores a header in stoppage time, sealing a 1-0 victory. The stadium erupts. She sprints to the corner flag, fist high. But when photographers swarm, her gaze arrows toward the media box where I'm stationed. For half a heartbeat she looks at me like the goal was a love letter. Thunder rattles the roof of my ribs. That night, victory party in the hotel ballroom. Staff mingle, players toast, LED lights pulse aqua and gold. I hover near a banquet table, nursing seltzer, crafting small smiles. Jordan enters late, in charcoal slacks and a white tee that clings to every breath. She's magnetic even when exhausted. Eyes meet. The room dissolves. She crosses to me, slipping a folded note into my palm before teasing a teammate about dance moves. I retreat to an alcove, unfold the scrap. Room 1812. No pressure. Just talk. The clock on my phone reads 1:03 a.m. I close my eyes, count to 10, fail, and find myself in the elevator. The hall is quiet except distant ice machine clatter. Pause outside 1812. 3 knocks, the door opens. Jordan stands barefoot, hair damp from a quick shower, cotton drawstring pants riding low on her hips. Hi, she says like a prayer. Hi. We sit on opposite ends of the couch, knees turned inward. For a full minute neither speaks. Outside, the rain slows to a hush. I told Camila I needed space, she says finally, voice raw. That was 2 weeks ago. Her hands twist together. I've been living on couches between matches, avoiding Ella like I can outrun my own vows. What did she say? That I was broken. That I don't know what I want. She lifts her eyes, sad, fierce. But I do know. It terrifies me. I swallow, throat tight. Jordan, I don't want to be a mistake you regret. You could never be a mistake. She slides closer, knees brushing mine. But I don't want you in shadows. Then step into the light, I whisper, surprised by my own courage. Choose. Silence stretches until it threatens to snap. She exhales shaky. I need to end my marriage properly. Not in headlines, not in half-truths. I owe her dignity. I owe you honesty. Give me a little time, Sawyer. And I'll meet you in daylight. The promise vibrates inside me like a plucked string. I nod. She reaches, tentative, fingers tracing the back of my hand before intertwining. We sit like that, hands linked, shoulders touching, while Rain quiets completely. No frantic kisses, no frantic mistakes. Just breath sinking, a future flickering somewhere beyond fear. At 3 a.m., I rise to leave. She walks me to the door, presses a soft kiss to my knuckles. "Thank you," she murmurs. "For what?" "For believing I can be brave." I brush my thumb over her cheekbone. "Prove me right." Back in New York, the universe tests every vow. Tabloids sniff rumors after an overeager fan tweets a blurry hallway photo. Jordan hugging someone in Seattle. Speculation ignites. My boss eyes me over her glasses but says nothing. I throw myself into crafting post-match content. Crafting alibis, crafting distance. Jordan keeps her word. 3 days after we return, an alert pings. Camila Serrano posts a muted statement about re-evaluating life paths and supporting each other's growth. Comments explode. Reporters scramble. Jordan texts only 2 words. "It's begun." That night she doesn't call, doesn't show. I pace my apartment like a caged thing. At 2 a.m. a single message arrives. Outside. I find her on the curb, hood up, eyes rimmed red. "She cried," she says. "I cried." Her voice cracks. "We broke something beautiful, but it was already dying." I pull her into the stairwell. She collapses against me, shoulders shaking. Not with regret but with relief so fierce it edges on pain. We cling there, surrounded by peeling paint and buzzing fluorescent. No glamour, no soundtrack. Just 2 women holding the cost of truth. I bring her upstairs. Rainwater darkens her sweatshirt. I peel it away, replace it with my softest tea. She smells like petrichor and heartbreak. She stands in the middle of my living room, suddenly shy. "We're really here," she whispers. "Yeah." No cameras, no noise. "What now?" I step close enough to feel her breathe. Now we see where courage takes us. Her exhale is half laugh, half sob. She kisses me gently, reverently, like an answer. The world tilts again, but this time it feels like alignment. We move toward the bedroom. Not frantic, not forbidden, just inevitable. Clothes scatter like discarded fears. Skin meets skin. The first touch is tremor, the second starburst. She maps my collarbone with lips, whispers my name as if engraving it into memory. I trace the curve of her spine, memorize the hitch of her breath. When we finally fuse, body, heart ache, the noise of outside life disappears. There's only rhythm, the slide of sweat, the hush of promises spoken into skin. We move slow, savoring, until the moment crests and breaks, leaving us floating in quiet wonder. Later, dawn bleeds pale light across the sheets. Jordan's head rests on my shoulder, fingers curled at my waist. Her wedding ring is gone. The indented mark on her skin is new, tender. She notices me noticing and lifts our intertwined hands. "Temporary scar," she says. "Every scar tells a story." She presses a kiss to the spot. "This one says I chose you." The sun climbs higher, painting her face gold. For the first time, the future doesn't scare me. It waits. Messy, loud, but ours. Outside, the city stirs, unaware that somewhere in a small apartment 2 women have rewritten the rules of their lives. Inside, Jordan whispers, "Ready for daylight?" I smile, tracing the curve of her cheek. "Bring it on." For 13 days, life is a high wire stretched between bliss and panic. Jordan moves into my apartment in increments. First her running shoes by the door, then a battered duffel of hoodies, finally a toothbrush that appears beside mine like a declaration. We cook late dinners, dance to half-finished playlists, fall asleep tangled in borrowed t-shirts that smell like rain and new beginnings. Outside, the city hums on, oblivious. The truce with the press lasts exactly 1 news cycle. On a humid Wednesday morning, Gotham Angel posts the team's flight photo to social media, heading to a charity friendly in Montreal. I'm in the frame, standing beside Jordan, our shoulders almost touching. A fan account zooms, spots the absence of her wedding ring and the unmistakable warmth in her smile. By noon, #ReyesGate trends worldwide. Gossip blogs recycle 4-year-old paparazzi shots, Speculate about the mystery Latina PR girl. Debate whether Jordan cheated or simply upgraded. Our phones detonate. I'm mid-layover in Newark when my mother texts a screenshot of a tabloid headline. Homewrecker or heart healer? She adds a single question mark. Go cold. On the flight to Canada, Jordan scrolls endlessly, jaw like granite. When she finally speaks, her voice is low, lethal. They're dragging you harder than me. I'm the unknown variable, I manage. You're not a variable, Sawyer. You're the point. I want to kiss her right there in seat 14B. Let every passenger film it, but the seatbelt light glows and fear wins. Montreal greets us with crisp October air and hordes of reporters. The hotel lobby is a gauntlet of camera flashes. Security hustles the team through, but one boom mic thrusts past a guard. Jordan, is your marriage really over? Is this the reason? The mic jerks toward me. My pulse freefalls. Jordan's hand twitches, but she doesn't reach for me. Not here. Not yet. In the elevator, she finally exhales. I can't keep watching them carve you up. I straighten my badge. We knew backlash was coming. Backlash is supposed to hit me. I had the vows. Scandals are easier when there's a villain, I say. I fit the silhouette. Her eyes shine with something close to grief. Then let's change the silhouette. That night we hole up in my room with instant ramen and 10 open browser tabs. Sponsorship chatter turns ugly. One beverage giant, pausing promotion pending reputation review. Meanwhile, Camila posts a black and white photo caption, some battles are fought in silence. 500,000 likes in an hour. Comment sections erupt. Team Camila versus Love is Love. Jordan slams her laptop. I won't let my silence paint you as a thief. So break it. She looks at me startled. What? Go public. On your terms. No managers, no sanitized press release. Just tell the story yourself. A slow resolve settles over her features. Documentary, she murmurs. We still have a skeleton budget from the rebrand series. Blink. You want to point cameras at the mess? At the truth, she corrects. We own it or it owns us. 2 days later, in a repurposed storage closet turned microstudio, we shoot the first frame of Open Play. No makeup, no sponsors' logos. Just Jordan in a plain gray hoodie, hair tied back, eyes fearless and raw. I sit off screen guiding with soft prompts, voice shaking only once. I fell in love with someone unexpected, she tells the lens. And I won't apologize for loving out loud. When she says my name, Sawyer, it enters the room like sunrise. She speaks of loneliness behind championship confetti, of a marriage that wilted in separate cities, of choosing honesty at brutal cost. The crew is silent when we cut. One lighting tech wipes a tear. We upload a teaser to Gotham Angel's official channel before dawn. By breakfast it rockets past 3 million views. Comments split like fault lines. Courage. Selfish. Adulterer. Brands hedge. Teammates mumble. League executives schedule ethics reviews. But the narrative is no longer tabloid property. It belongs to her and to us. Back in New York, the backlash sharpens. Protesters wave family first placards outside the stadium. Rainbow-clad supporters chant her name louder. Ticket sales spike. A serial sponsor bolts. My inbox floods with interview requests. Hate mail, marriage proposals. Someone digs up an old college photo of me at a pride parade and captions it serial homewrecker exposed. I laugh, then cry, then laugh again. Jordan trains like a woman possessed, converting fury into footwork. At practice, I keep cameras rolling while she mentors rookie striker Layla Park about balance and bravery. Between drills her gaze tracks me, a silent check-in. I nod, still here. That weekend, national sports talk shows debate whether personal drama will tank her form. She answers with a hat trick against Chicago, sprints to the sideline, and points straight at the press box where I'm filming. 20,000 fans erupt. Half the country tweets fire emojis. One broadcaster mutters, "Guess that settles it." We celebrate in my living room with cheap champagne and greasy pizza. Her socks are mismatched, hair still damp from a victory shower, cheeks pink from laughter. For the first time in weeks, the noise fades behind the walls. She plucks a pepperoni slice, sighs contentedly. Do you ever regret stepping into this fire with me? Sometimes, I admit, surprising us both. Not because of you, because of who I become when I'm scared. I shut down, I hide. She sets the slice down, serious. You never have to hide again. Promise. She slides closer on the couch, fingers tracing the inside of my wrist where my pulse skitters. On every goal I'll ever score. I kiss her, slow, grateful, tinged with pepperoni salt. The future hums between our mouths. But fire always tests its fuel. 2 days later, League headquarters issues a formal investigation into potential conflict of interest between player and staff. If ethics committee rules against us, I could lose my job, Jordan could face suspension. The notice lands in my inbox at 8 a.m. By 8:05, I'm hyperventilating in a bathroom stall. Jordan finds me outside the facility, pacing. I shove the phone at her. She reads, jaw flexing. They can't bench me for falling in love. They can revoke my credential. Then I'll walk. You can't. My voice splinters. The team is your life. She cups my face, thumbs wiping panicked tears I didn't realize had fallen. You are my life, Sawyer. Her conviction terrifies and steadies me all at once. What if choosing me costs you everything? Everything minus you is nothing. I've heard speeches about love. Corny, scripted, safe. This isn't that. This is a sword thrust into the ground. I lean into her palms, inhale steel and grass and stubborn hope. Okay, I whisper. Let's fight. That night we convene strategy in the apartment, laptops glowing like a war room. My boss joins via video, fiercely pragmatic. We'll argue precedent. Staff dating players in other franchises, 0 suspensions. We highlight your documentary's mental health impact, league values. She pauses, eyes softening. But media will still swing. I'm done ducking, I say. I'll appear with her on record. Jordan's brows lift. You hate cameras. I hate injustice more. She smiles like dawn. The hearing is set for Friday. 3 executives, 2 lawyers, 1 sterile boardroom smelling of stale coffee. Jordan enters in tailored navy. I in a charcoal suit borrowed from a friend, palms sweating despite antiperspirant. We state facts. No operational power imbalance, no favoritism. My performance reviews sing. Her stats shine. Our lawyer slides affidavits from teammates attesting to professionalism. Finally, Jordan leans forward. I play better since telling the truth, she says. Isn't that the league's mission? Empower athletes to be their best. This is my best. The committee adjourns. We wait in a corridor that feels like purgatory. She squeezes my hand so hard our knuckles crack. 34 minutes crawl past. The door opens. The chairperson clears her throat. No violations found. However, Ms. Mendoza must transfer out of direct PR duties with Ms. Reyes within 30 days. Relief slams me. Jordan pulls me into her arms right there, ignoring cameras. I laugh into her shoulder, half crying. We won mostly. My role will shift to creative director for digital stories. Still with the club, but no longer her handler. Boundaries we can live with. Outside, reporters swarm. Jordan speaks first. The league proved love and integrity aren't mutually exclusive. She motions me forward. My voice trembles but holds. Transparency protects everyone. We hope our story encourages others to live openly. Flashbulbs strobe. Somewhere a cynic scoffs. But applause rises too. From young interns, from fans behind barricades, from a security guard who winks as we pass. Weeks blur into a new rhythm. I draft the second open play episode. This one centered on Layla Park's struggle with anxiety and identity. Jordan trains, mentors, scores. Sponsor offers trickle back. Smaller but aligned with authenticity. At night we cook, argue about paint colors for the spare bedroom, kiss against half-assembled bookshelves. One windy Saturday we wander Brooklyn Flea. She buys a tarnished compass pendant, presses it into my palm. So you always find your way back to me. I laugh but my eyes sting. We're almost safe, almost steady, until the day Camila appears outside the training facility. She waits by the player's exit in oversized sunglasses and purposeful poise. Jordan freezes mid-step. I hover a respectful distance. They speak softly, words carried off by autumn gusts. I can't hear, but I see Camila's shoulders shake once before she hugs Jordan tight, whispers into her ear, then walks away without glancing back. Jordan watches her disappear, tears bright and swift. She turns to me, cheeks wet but unconcealed. Closure? Ask gently. Blessing, she whispers. She said, she hopes the love we found is worth the storm. I wrap my arms around her despite the lurking cameras. It is. She kisses my temple in full view of every lens. The flash doesn't scare me anymore. That night, exhaustion drops us onto the couch, limbs entwined like living ivy. The city hums beyond the balcony. Our breathing sinks. Jordan strokes my hair, voice a hush. Sometimes I forget we're still in Act 2. Feels like the climax already. I smile against her shoulder. Plot twist. The real climax is peace. He chuckles. Think the audience will stick around for that? They'll stay for the truth. Lightning flickers on the skyline. Thunder rumbling distant. She nudges my chin up, eyes molten. Ready for forever. Ask me again when the storm passes. I tease. She grins, kisses me with the promise of sun after rain. Outside thunder rolls. Inside we hold fast. Two hearts steady in the eye of everything. Winter unwraps New York in slow, silver layers. Streetlights glow like low-hanging moons over snow-dusted avenues. And for the first time in years Jordan Reyes has January off. The league's new wellness mandate, sparked in part by Open Play's wildfire success, gifts every club a 4-week mental health hiatus. Players scatter to beaches and ski lodges. The city belongs to us. Jordan and I stumble into the pause, bone-tired yet hungry for quiet. She boxes trophies and training shoes, carries them from her old condo to the brown brick building we now call ours. I repaint the living room wall marsh green, cover the patchy streaks with framed Polaroids. Her hat-trick grin, my mother hugging her at Thanksgiving, Layla Park flashing peace signs beside our documentary poster. We build a home out of ordinary things. Coffee mugs chipped at the rim, playlists stuck on mid-2000s pop-punk, grocery lists half-scribbled on takeout menus. But even peace has growing pains. One icy morning a delivery van blasts its horn outside the stadium. Driver yelling slurs at the rainbow banner Gotham Angel hoisted to celebrate our series. Twitter lights up. The club's social team panics. I dash to headquarters in 3 layers of wool, fingers shaking as I unlock the media suite. Jordan arrives minutes later, having sprinted 6 blocks on brittle asphalt, fury blazing in her eyes. We spend 10 straight hours crafting the club's response video. Jordan speaking first, teammates following, staff and coaches closing ranks. By sunset the hashtag Angel Family drowns out the hate. We collapse on beanbags amid cables and cold pizza, wrists touching, hope humming between us. Peace is work, I mutter. Worthwhile work, she answers, brushing a stray paint chip from my hair. That night she runs a bath so hot it fogs every mirror, pulls me into the water, and untangles the day from my shoulders with patient hands. Candlelight flickers off the compass pendant she once bought at Brooklyn Flea. It rests on my sternum like a steady pulse. The world outside can scream. Inside this steam-blurred bathroom the only sound is breath and dripping taps. February brings the ethics panel report. No further action. Officially Jordan and I are cleared to exist. Sponsors sniff the wind and come back, offering smaller contracts but bigger creative control. She signs only with brands that fund LGBTQ youth sports. I decline a glossy magazine spread that wants me in stilettos beside the caption from side piece to power player. Instead, I pitch a long-form feature about intersectional representation in team media. The editor buys it. Progress feels a lot like rewriting your own headline. We celebrate with bad sushi and a worse bottle of champagne, toasting to second chances that taste like seaweed and pop rocks. Jordan slides a velvet pouch across the table. Inside, her league medal from last season. The back is engraved, "Courage is a team sport." "I want you to have it," she says. My throat knots. "You earned this." "So did you." I close her fingers over the medal, lean across soy sauce stains to kiss her. "We'll share it, like everything else." Spring training returns in a burst of cherry blossom confetti. Reporters expect Jordan to stumble under the weight of activism. Instead, she leads fitness tests, mentors rookies, fits film shoots into lunch breaks. Stadium tour requests triple. Open play screening invitations flood my calendar. I restructure the media department, rotating crews to avoid burnout, hiring a college kid who codes closed captioning in 5 languages. Some nights I edit footage on the couch while Jordan practices stepovers between the coffee table and balcony door, the ball thudding off her instep in hypnotic rhythm. One evening she missteps, ankle rolling. She crumples with a cry that rips my heart open. Emergency room x-rays reveal a high-grade sprain. Not career-ending, but 6 weeks on crutches, 8 off the pitch. I bring her home with a pharmacy of ice packs and dull green braces. Restless energy coils inside her. She hates stationary life. So we invent motionless adventures. Slide projector marathons of classic matches. Balcony picnics with skyline scavenger hunts. Collaborative playlists where every song title must include the word wild. At night she props her foot on pillows and traces storyboards on my thigh. Ideas for future episodes. Single mothers in semi-pro leagues, trans referee visibility, mental health protocols in high school athletics. Her injury becomes a crucible for creation. Heat forging purpose. Still frustration flares. One rainy Tuesday she throws her crutch, shattering a vase. Shards fan across parquet like frozen fireworks. She sags to the floor, breaths ragged. I kneel, sweep glass with careful hands, and kiss the inside of her wrist until her pulse steadies. "You're allowed to rage," I whisper. "I'm scared the game will move on without me," she confesses. "It can't. You're changing it from here." She curls into me, storm spent. Pieces work and we keep working. April thaws. Jordan graduates from walking boot to cleats. First jog around the practice field, first controlled shot on goal. Each milestone a champagne cork. The night she's cleared for full training, we ride the Staten Island ferry just to watch Manhattan sparkle. Wind whips her curls free. She laughs, the sound echoing off water and steel. I snap a candid photo, her profile against city lights. Post it with the caption, "Home is a moving target." The image goes modestly viral. Strangers comment poems about triumph. Back at the apartment she kisses my camera hand. "You make me look braver than I feel." "I just capture what's true." She tilts her head. "Then capture this." She reaches into her jacket pocket, pulls out a slim white envelope. My name loops in her neat, left-slanted handwriting. "What is it?" "Open." Inside, 2 boarding passes. New York to San Juan, June 10th. A sticky note. Off-season elopement. Palm trees, 5 witnesses, no paparazzi. My heart somersaults. "Thought we were waiting," I murmur. "We've waited long enough," she says. "But if you need more time." I hug her against the kitchen counter. Laughter spilling. "I need sunscreen and a dress that won't melt in humidity. That's all." Her grin is sunrise bright. "Then we're getting married on a beach in Puerto Rico." "Yes, Captain," I reply, saluting with mock solemnity. She twirls me until the room blurs. The weeks swirl in technicolor. Passport renewals, floral print suits, group chat debates about coconut cake versus flan. Layla Park cries when we ask her to read a Neruda excerpt at the ceremony. My mother mails heirloom earrings soft-wrapped in tissue that smells like lavender. Camila sends a postcard. "May the new chapter bring only grace." Jordan weeps quietly on the balcony. I hold her hand until the sun folds into night. Media sniff the rumor mill, but we stay ahead of the scent. One strategic statement on the club blog. Private celebration planned during scheduled break. No further comment. Surprisingly, they respect it. June arrives on a wave of heat. We land in San Juan, breathing salt and possibility. Our rented villa overlooks turquoise swells that crash like applause. The night before the wedding, we host a bonfire on the sand. Teammates roast marshmallows. My boss attempts salsa. Jordan's little brother strums acoustic guitar until the sky unzips with stars. She pulls me into the surf, water licking white dresses around our knees. Tomorrow, she whispers, forehead pressed to mine, I get to call you wife. The word rings through my bones like church bells I never believed in. Tomorrow, I echo, tasting sea spray and sunrise. We marry barefoot at golden hour. 5 witnesses, 1 officiant, 2 gulls swooping overhead like they too want a view. Jordan wears cream linen, sleeves rolled. Her sprained scar peeks above the ankle like a memory she's proud to show. I wear a slip dress the color of dune grass. The compass pendant rests over my heart. Her league medal, now a charm, dangles from her bouquet. Wind lifts her curls. Sunlight freckles my shoulders. Our vows are unscripted. She says she spent years winning trophies to prove she was enough. But with me she learned enough is simply being seen. I say I spent years turning down my volume to survive. But with her I learned love can be loud without breaking. We promised to choose truth over comfort, laughter over pride, soft over safe. We exchange thin hammered gold bands inscribed no more hiding. When the officiant pronounces us married, the ocean answers with a roar. We kiss, salt and tears mingling, applause spiraling into gull cries. Cameras stay pocketed. Only memory captures the moment. At the reception, string lights, plantain chips, impromptu conga line. A tropical storm muscles onto the horizon. Instead of fleeing inside, we dance in the warm downpour. Suits plastered to skin, mascara streaking war paint. Lightning silhouettes our embrace. Thunder drums approval. Someone yells, kiss. And we do, rain slick and fearless. Later, soaked smiles aching, we slip away to the villa's balcony. The storm moves out to sea. Moonlight spills over wet palms. She pops a bottle of cheap sparkling wine, foam fizzing over her knuckles. To the rest of the story, she toasts. The best of the story, I correct, clinking my glass. We drink, then fall into the hammock, limbs entwined. The night hums with coqui frogs and distant surf. Think the world will quiet down now, she asks. Probably not, I laugh. But we already learned the choreography. Step forward, lean in, don't let go. She brushes a curl from my cheek. Sawyer Reyes Mendoza, she tests, rolling it on her tongue like new language. I like the sound of forever. Forever starts now, I reply. She kisses me long and unhurried. The hammock sways like a tide. The moon rides high over the Caribbean, lighting a horizon with no finish line. Only open field, endless play. And somewhere far off in packed stadiums and bright living rooms, kids watch our documentary, see 2 women refusing to fold, and believe a little harder in their own ending. Maybe that's the point. Love, lived out loud, becomes permission for someone else to begin. Jordan rests her head on my chest. My fingers trace the curve of her shoulder. Her heartbeat steady beneath damp linen. We drift toward sleep, cradled by salt wind and promise. The future stretches wide, uncharted, gleaming. Whatever storms come next, we'll lace up and meet them together. Because the whistle blew, the match went to sudden death, and we, against odds, against noise, against fear, scored the goal that matters most. We chose each other. Game on.